Tell me when. All right, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Everybody's good? Come on in, grab a seat. Welcome. Gary, we don't bite. Even if it's boring and you want to get up and leave, you can. It won't hurt my feelings. The meshes, it might. All right, let's get started. Who's got something fun, exciting to share? Anything great going on? Bucket fills. Dan Goon.
My wife and I are going to be honored today. Today is Daniel and Betty's Goon Day in Sugar Land.
All right.
Boy Scout. I've been a scouter for a volunteer scouter since my son was first grader. He's an Eagle Scout, by the way, since 1990. And I stayed on being a leader to
Awesome.
really help young parents to get their kids engaged with the scouting program. So not only the scouts will have fun, but the parents will have fun. I learned many years ago, I had a blast, just serendipity, going through the program with my sons since I was never a scout. And of course, my wife did it with both my girls with Girl Scouts, and we just continue on to be a blessing to a lot of the young families. So what we found out was we inspired them with the program because of our enthusiasm about the program and giving back. And it sort of makes them want to be engaged with their kids a little bit more to bond, because it's a little crazy. We get caught in this time warp when one of the scouts that when you're at elementary school as a leader, and they call you and say, Mr. Goon, I need to buy a house. I said, are you old enough, Chad? He said, yes, I'm 36. I'm older than Brad. I said, oh, okay. I mean, he said, I got 3 kids. I said, yeah, you're old enough to buy a house.
Yeah.
But,
That's awesome.
2 years.
All right, Dan and Betty Goon Day in Sugar Land. You taking autographs after the meeting? In 30 years, you're just getting started. Awesome. That's a great one. Who could top that? Anybody naming the? You don't have to top that. Something exciting. Anything going on? Personal, business? That was it. Dan hogged the show already.
Hey, Chad.
That's awesome. Yes, go ahead. We got somebody online. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Chad, I just got open door to accept an FHA offer, $25,000 below list price.
Wow, that is awesome. Very good. Israel.
I was going to say open doors overpriced anyway. So
yes.
All right. Tara and I did a foodies group in our neighborhood, and then we started a Facebook group on Facebook. But then we did a meetup this past Saturday, just kind of a potluck. Everyone brought food. We had probably 25, maybe 30 people come through, and then Tara got a listing appointment.
There you go. Food? Did you call it a foodie group?
Yeah.
Foodie group. Okay. Cool. All right. Really good. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right. Let's move along. Let's go, Greg. He put his slide right at the start.
The clicker, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Every single week, he always runs with it. So hello, everyone. My name is Greg. I handle the marketing for the office. So I'm just gonna have a few slides to share with you guys some information and some updates on things that are happening in the office. Boom. So shredding hunger. Boom. Right. Shredding hunger. April 30th. So that's the end of the month. I know many of you have received flyers for it. That's on our Facebook closed group. If you do not have your own branded flyer, feel free to contact me, GregoryS@kw.com. This is your event, so this is an opportunity to promote yourself, your business, reach out to your database. And if you're not sure how to do that, there's actually going to be a class April 14th. That's next week at 10 a.m. Werner and the Mesh are going to teach you guys how to take advantage of the event, door knocking, smart plans, emails, social media, everything you need to do. It's ideal that you bring a laptop for that class. So it's a great opportunity for you to learn. For any of you who have struggled with content or need more content for your social media and for your marketing, this is it. Also, we get to give back to the community. There's going to be opportunity. We're still looking for volunteers. So where's Linda? Linda, Linda, can you talk to everyone about volunteers and what's the opportunity available for our agents? If you don't mind.
So to volunteer, I mean, obviously the day of the event, we would love to have the agents out there helping to collect the items and to load onto the truck. And then actually after the event, we'd like to get a couple people to help us go back to Eastport Bend and unload the truck. I mean, the average volunteer there is usually about 70. So unloading the truck, they could use some, some muscle in doing that. But also, if you want to come volunteer and come donate, donate the canned goods and stuff, we'd love to have you guys out there. The more agents we can get promoting the event and showing up to help collect everything, just help promote KW as well.
Yep.
Awesome. And if for any reason you cannot show up that day, we do have a box at the front where you can actually donate food right away. So we're looking for that. Yes.
So we've been covering it in our
Nice and
morning
loud, 'cause
script.
I can't hear you. Go ahead. Or stand up.
We've been covering it in our morning scripts. Mondays and Tuesdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30.
Awesome. Thank
Is that
you.
good,
Thank you. Awesome. So there's plenty of support for this event. We want to make it really big. We want to make sure we're giving back, and we want to make sure you guys have opportunity to market yourself. Awesome.
One thing to add about that real quick, Greg,
Go ahead.
the class, right? I want to make something absolutely clear. You're going to be walking out with a ready to go smart plan that all you have to do is download from the command platform. And we have social media postings with the write-up and the images and everything ready to go. Okay, so you're going to landing page to collect also the leads. So it's one-stop shop. Come in, join us on April 14th. You'll be walking out with everything ready to go to market for shredding up.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So I actually brought in a guest today to talk a little bit about marketing and social media with you guys. So April Basher, she's also a Keller Williams agent. You can talk a little bit more about yourself. She's a coach. You got to stand up here so the people online can see you and hear you as well. But yeah, she's going to give you some great tips, and you can introduce herself. So thank you.
Hey guys, April Bradshaw, Keller Williams in Pearland. I'm a lot of familiar faces, but so what I want to start with you guys, you said I had 5 minutes, first of all, is that I know how you feel about social media because I was that person. Like I literally hated Instagram in March of 2020, but I was sitting on my couch and we had 9 that were in escrow fallout because of COVID, and literally just one by one, I saw my whole business falling apart. But what I saw is that other agents, inside Houston were getting on social media and being present, and I was like, I don't want to, like I was dragging my feet, but I have this fear of missing out, and I have it in a big way. Like you're not going to pass me up, right? So I knew that I needed to do it for a long time. So I jumped right into it, and now I love Instagram and hate Facebook. I only go back to Facebook just to make sure that I talk to my moms that are friends with and, my own family and do that kind of stuff. But I hate it in there. Like it's more lead gen for me to go into Facebook than it is Instagram. So long story short, we're almost at 8,000 followers, but what the key is for social media is what I want you guys to, I coach agents on social media. And the first thing they think of is they have to be an influencer. Influencers, that's their full-time job is to influence you. Your full-time job is to do real estate. So what you just need to do is to be able to show up consistent. It's just farming on the internet. It's just lead generation on the internet. So you got to treat it just like your lead generation time. You're going to time block it, schedule it out. You're going to get in there and you're going to engage. You're going to make relationships. You're going to build relationships. In 2020, I had 3 referrals from agent referrals. In 2021, we went up to 7. And already in 2022, we have 4 or 5 since the beginning of the year. So when you're going into social media, Instagram, don't go in there thinking that you're getting buyers and sellers from Instagram. That's not what you're doing. You're building relationships with other agents. People are not going to Instagram and saying, I'm looking for a real estate agent. That's not what they're doing. They're stumbling across your profile and finding you, and then they'll start following you. They're not going there to look for you. So don't forget about your SEO on Google. You got to still stay top of mind there because that's where they're looking for you. But Instagram is for agent to agent referral. And then what we've done is we just built a huge network of friends that people call me and say, hey, I need somebody in Sugar Land. I'm like, I got you. I know this girl, this guy. And so that's what Katie, I got you. I know. So they know I'm down here, but they don't know where I'm at. Right. So we've done that. There's a girl in the Woodlands I've given 7 referrals for. I don't know what's going on up there, but they just love it up there right now. So she's just banking off of people that know me, that know I'm down here. Right. So it's just a relationship. Get in there, farm, build some time. If you have any questions, look me up on Instagram. I'll help you set your profile up. Do an audit for you real quick. We build content for agents. That's what I do. I love it. I love the relationship part of it. You don't have to go. Don't let it be overwhelming to you. Just keep it simple, stay consistent, show up, post once a day in there. That's it. And it's not your just listed, just sold. people don't give a boo-boo about your stuff, right? They want to know who you are. You're the brand of your business, not that just list or that just sold. Okay, so that's the stuff that's going to run people off. So if you're just posting all the open house and listings that you have, or somebody else in your office has, or whatever, you're going to run people off. They want to know who you are. They want to know if they know, like, and trust you, they're going to do business with you. So go into Instagram or get on social media and start farming. That's all it is. Do it in your pajamas behind a computer.
Awesome.
Did I miss anything?
No, that was good. Thank you very
Yeah. And like, this is the whole, we talked about even just teaching a whole class. Like I just left Keller Williams on Monday, Pearland, yesterday, and doing the same thing, taught a whole class in there. So, and then what I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this, real quick, one last thing, is if you're trying to reach everyone, you're reaching no one. So if you guys, people ask me all the time, well, why do you want to be known as the Pearland Realtor? Are you sure that you're going to lose business? No, it's the best way. When you can get down and niche, I have a buyer persona. I know exactly who I want to work with and who I don't want to work with. Doesn't mean I won't work with them, but that first red flag that pops up in a conversation, peace out on me, okay? I'm working with the people that I want to work with, all right? And that's going to make me want to get up earlier every day and start doing this business. So don't get on the internet and think that you're trying to reach, 100,000 followers and reach everyone. Find your people here, get to know them, support your communities, farm your neighborhood, and do it on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you. So she'll be back again for a class. Thank you, Melissa, for the introduction.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say. The first, like, he asked me, do you know anyone that's really big on TikTok or Instagram or whatever? I thought of her in like 0.5 seconds. And I know 5,000 real, I thought of her. So it was really big to have her here.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah.
Really quick, last couple of slides. We have a bunch of free templates on agentmarketingdesk.com. So if you can sign in there. I'm also sending out text alerts for marketing tips and things that you need to know. So just to sign up, and it's pretty simple to sign up. I'm doing a class tomorrow for the Calibre, so on marketing. We're going to cover designing content on Canva and Command. So if you're it's a great opportunity for you. It's at 11:30 tomorrow. Red Day. So Red Day is coming up. That's May 12th. So Natasha's here with the Red Day team, and then we're gonna play a quick video to
She's
show.
walking up. Yep, go.
Come on.
No, just hit the next button again on yours.
Okay. Boom. There it is.
Hi everyone, I'm Tasha Goodbelight, and I am the chairperson for the ALC Cultural Events Committee, and we are hosting Red Day. So, what is Red Day? Red Day is the one day out the year where all Keller Williams agents get together and give back to their community in different ways.
Hi, I'm Sapna, and I'm in charge of volunteers. You can sign up today on the Sign Up Genius at KWSW Closed Group. Make sure you know that we need 100 volunteers. We already have 43. We're only looking for 57 more people. You don't want to miss out. You'll be really sad.
Hi, I'm Tanya Nicholas, and Red Day is going to be so exciting. We're going to be at Habitat for Humanity. They started in 1976. What a great cause. Come out early for breakfast, 7:30 a.m. We have two shifts. We have 8 to 11 and 11 to 2. I'll see you there.
I am Daphne Winters, and I want to remind you not to forget your Red Day t-shirt. They are available for sale for $10 at the front desk. Don't forget
T-shirts. I'm Doretta, and I'd like to thank our sponsors, Majestic Title, for a, I'm sure to be great breakfast, and Patent Title and AMCAP for our sure to be great lunch. Thank you, guys.
Hi guys, everybody excited about Red Day, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a little Red Day
Hi
giveaway.
everyone,
Hold on.
Oh, right here.
There you go, right here.
So I have a little Red Day giveaway. If anyone can tell me the year Red Day was started and why that day is special, because it's celebrating the birthday of someone very special that's a part of the KW family.
76 Memorial.
Yes, wait, 76 what?
19.
Nope. But you got the last part right. Anybody else?
1976.
1986.
So we said 76 on the video.
1976.
Anybody else?
1976.
No, it is not
It is
1976.
It's not 1970. Right. What year did the first Red Day start?
2003.
No. Come on.
2004.
No. Yes.
Yeah,
2009.
2009.
You're on the-
Yes.
Okay. You get a color Williams bottle. Thanks, guys. So, we have a table set up. If you haven't received your Red Day t-shirts, like she said, they're $10 right over there. You can actually sign up over there. The liability forms that's needed to participate is over there as well. So
The goal is 100 and we're at how many?
right now we're at 54 right now.
54.
Yep, 54.
So we need more. If you haven't signed up, make sure you show up. That's the one day where we stop and we get back in the community. Remember, it's not all day. We're doing morning and afternoon shifts.
And Director of Operations from Habitat will be here on May 4th to tell you everything that we're going to be doing on that day.
Okay, awesome. Excited. You know, Red Day is such a, I had one phone call, was it yesterday, that says, hey, would you guys partner with us for Red Day? And I said, well, it's interesting. How did you hear about it? Somebody in the community. And then I said, well, we're already locked into this year's Red Day. Anyways, it just started a conversation. So giving back and the reputation of us giving back does people notice. All right, let's jump ahead. No, we don't want the video again. Don't want the video again. Nikki, go ahead.
I didn't have to run. Hi, everybody. My name is Nikki Barker, and I am the productivity coach here at Keller Williams Southwest. So happy to see all of you here today. So I'm sure everybody know by now what the Fed announced this morning, that they're deciding to raise the interest rates not by a quarter, but half a point. So what opportunities do we see there? What's our opportunity? If you're thinking about selling, doing now, what else? What other opportunity are we given right now? What about touching base with all our buyers? All the buyers that we have been working with. The buyer power that they had a month ago is different than what it is today. So it is important to follow up. We bring value and education first, right? It's our duty to our clients to educate them in what is changing. But not only that, even when you have a listing, let's pay attention to those pre-approval letters, the date that they were issued, right? Even if they were issued a month ago, the rate is not there anymore. And it doesn't mean that the buyer are still qualifying. I was actually talking to Gary earlier, and he had a situation where he had a pre-approval letter on the table, and all of a sudden the buyer could not qualify anymore for the house that they wanted to buy. So it is our duty and fiduciary to our clients, especially we all want listings, so on the seller side as well, to pay attention to those details. The increase of interest rate does not only affect the buyers, but the sellers as well. Like Abish was saying, sell now, right? But we want to make sure that we do it right by our client and look after them and present solid offers.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, thanks, Nikki. Krista.
First off, I just have to say that there is only one Dan Goon, the one and only, and I'm so proud that he's here at our office.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So I just closed the books for our March month, and I wanted to share some of our high-level numbers. 2 minutes. Not going to space out on me, right? Yeah, here we go. Okay, top level. We broke a couple of records for the month of March. So this is like our all-time March records for closed volume, GCI, company dollar, which is the commission that the broker receives, and gross agents that joined our company. So we had 27 agents join us in the month of March. That's the most agents we've ever had in a month of March join us. That's awesome. And then we had our second largest March in owner profit and profit share, which profit share gets very exciting. That was 39,500 in profit share. So if you're receiving profit share, that's something to get excited about, because that means you have a larger check than you would have had. And that's since 2013. So just to give a little bit of a comparison, our closed volume, I said it was an all-time record, was 96.2 million compared to 87.9 million last March. So let's, how do the units look, right? That's my next question. We closed 227 units, not including leases. Last March was 241. So our volume went up, units went down. What does that mean? The price of the homes that we sold are higher this year than they were last year, right? So just something for you to know as you're thinking, you're the economist of choice, what's going on in the market, right? So some of that could be due to home prices increasing. Some of it could be due to our agents just selling higher priced homes, going into a higher price point. Probably a combination of both. The other opportunity that I wanted to highlight is our listings. So we had 100 listings taken in the month of March. Compared to February, that did go up. However, compared to last March, we took 110 last year. So listings is still a huge area of opportunity. We need more listings, right? If you look at a car dealership with no cars, who's going to go there to buy a car? If you are that agent dealership and you have no listings, where's your inventory, right? How are you going to stay in business if you have no inventory? So listings is the opportunity. And if you say, well, I just love working with buyers, the best way to increase the number of buyers you work with is to get more listings. So ironically, that works out. Okay, well, that's my high level.
That's good stuff.
Review. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Krista. All right. Did you have something?
Yeah.
All right.
So just real quick, as Krista was saying, that understanding your numbers is something huge for you to be able to audit your performance and really tackle your goals. We've already wrapped up the first quarter. I have a question. Are you going to allow the second quarter to look like your first quarter, or is it going to exceed it? Well, as April and Greg have told you, really focusing on your lead generating strategies, utilizing social media is kind of what we're focusing on for this month, is going to be key. But how many conversations are you really having that are leading to you actually taking an appointment, right? So I say that to just let you marinate on that and also bring back in front of you all the different opportunities and value that we're bringing to you in terms of education, support, and training. If you haven't seen this around the office, and you want one, please just get with me. We've also posted it on our closed Facebook group. We've already had the video Promote Yourself with AMCAP Mortgage. We so appreciate them for doing that.
No.
Didn't? Today? Yep. 12:30. Absolutely. It's happening today. And then also the panel is happening right after that. But I know you're going to talk about that. I'm sorry. We had the Google Masterclass series already, at least the first one. And we have some more going on. Capturing your real estate leads and utilizing video. That's happening next week, as well as the second masterclass. We have a major masterclass coming up on April 26th. And for our dual career agents, we have a workshop that will happen on Sunday, April 24th. From 1 to 4 o'clock to help catch you up, to also go over lead gen strategies for, what is it called? What are we doing? No, not Red Day, Shredding Hunger as well. So that opportunity is coming up. If you have any other business ideas or ways that we can assist you, please let us know. If you want us to support you, please contact myself and Nimesh, and we'll schedule one.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Just to add to that, some more immediate stuff. Like Verna just said, please join us with AMCAP at 12:30, 30 minutes after the team meeting, for how to market yourself through video at a high level, right? In addition, I have a couple slides. In addition to that, directly after that, ALC is presenting Grow Your Profit Share. We have a special guest from New Jersey who does this at a high level. So he's going to join us to share some of his tactics with you. All right. And of course, our very own Gary Sternagel is going to join us too. So it's a jam-packed day today, team meeting. The AMCAP class, along with ALC presenting Grow Your Profit Share. So please join us. And then as a reminder, tomorrow we have our farming and prospecting with Remind Pro. Now, again, this is a free service to you. Now, Remind Pro is available to you at no cost through HAR. So how are you going to utilize it to farm specific areas? That's exactly what we're going to show you tomorrow, right here in the training room. There's a Zoom link as well from 2 to 3. Okay, that's it.
All right. Great. All right. Let's get into a little bit of some dialogue if we can. And because here's the reality of the world that we live in right now. Okay. Nikki touched on it, but I'm just going to have a kind of a real conversation to you. We are heading into a recession. Let me say that again. We are heading into a recession. And you say, how do you know that? How do we know that? Indicators. What's the first indicator? Okay, so let's just have we want to have an open dialogue with this so you can really understand, right? Inflation is out of control, to put it frankly, right? Inflation is high. We live in a democracy, right? So when you live in a democracy, right, our structure, so to speak, the government is what right now? Well, yeah, our government is petrified with the amount of inflation. And so they're going to do one thing, right, that's coming up. They're going to increase interest rates. And in fact, I think it was stated they're going to do it 5 times. They're going to do it 5 times. So I told Dale I was going to put him on the spot. Dale, you come up here and you can have a little bit of an open dialogue, right? So you really understand this, but I'm going to put it in perspective too, right? So the recession is we have inflation, but when inflation occurs, what happens when it comes to wealth? It does. Okay, what else? Well, the rich, let's just put it to you. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer, to put it in Chad's terms, right? The rich get richer, meaning available the money them they exceed. So the gap when it comes to financial gets larger. And when you live in a society, if we were in a hierarchy or dictatorship, they go, we could care less. But we don't live in that type of world. So the way to do that is the government, they control that. Add to that dialogue. We just want to go straight out with interest rates, inflation, our federal government and their plan.
Exactly. So everyone's heard the old adage or the term, supply and demand. What happens with supply and demand? Okay, so as supply decreases and demand increases, what happens to prices? Okay. So with the demand and the issues that we're seeing across the world, supply chain issues, gas prices, issues with war, everywhere else, our inflation, our dollars, there's less supply, which is increasing all of our prices, the cost that we pay for everything. And so the government's attempts, our Federal Reserve attempt to increase rates. Anyone have an idea what the idea is behind there? Speak up, I can't hear. To slow down demand. And the way that they slow down demand and the way that the government puts this is, we want to lessen the consumer's desire to spend money. Does that make sense? Lessen the consumer's desire to spend money. And the way we do that is by saying it's going to cost you more money to buy stuff. That makes sense to everyone? We've already seen it with the supply demand problems, the price of everything that we've seen in our economy, grocery store visits, cost to trip to Home Depot. If you're buying vehicles, you've seen what prices, and we've seen home prices continue to go up. So now as interest rates are increasing, and the government again has said 7 times an increase potentially for the prime interest rate. That is their anticipation to slow your desire as a consumer to keep spending your money. The idea is that if we spend less money, then we are going to start saving more money. Consumers are going to put more money in the bank. Does that make sense? That's the theory behind the reason that we're raising these interest rates, or that the government wants to raise the interest rate. They're wanting to slow down this craziness of the home prices just getting out of control, and car prices and everything. Everything that we are buying today that is elevated in price, they're wanting to slow that down and get those prices somewhat under control. And our or their ability to do that is through the raising of these interest rates. What does that impact? Everything. I mean, that's a good answer. In theory, what they're actually impacting is anything that a consumer has that's tied to debt that they acquire that has an interest rate attached to it. What will this do to your credit card bills? They will go up. Your interest rate on any debt that you have that is a variable rate will follow each time. It takes a little while for it to happen. But as the Fed increases, they're talking about doing this again 7 times throughout the year, that incrementally you'll see that your interest rate on any debts that you have that is a variable rate will increase as well. So your credit card debt that today is at 22% might in next month be, who knows, at 22.5 or 23%. So the idea is let's slow down the demand. Let's build up potentially inventory on homes if it slows down the sales and the frenzy that we've seen lately. So
yeah, I hope you took some notes from that, because that's the foundational piece that you really need to understand, right? And the government trying to do this 7 times to hit it to slow it down is like them trying to land a plane on the smallest island in the Pacific and hoping they hit it the first time. They're gonna miss most of the time, is why they're just gonna keep going. This is not an exact science. That's what you're going to feel kind of moving forward, right? And there's a reason why we go in there. You got to understand the cost of money. Now, I'm going to say this about 17 times during this. When's the best time to buy real estate? Now. It always will be. And anyone who tells you otherwise, right, is a fool. Period. Right? Now, if you're going to do it as short term, we're not talking about short term. We're talking about long term. So I want you guys to hear that as well. Okay, you're dismissed. Thank you. Okay. That's good stuff. Okay. Okay, that's reality number 1. Now, here's another reality. We still are in a major demand of we need inventory, right? We have sellers that are on the fence, right? And these are reality that we have to have real conversations with people. And if you don't have the conversations to walk through it, you're going to struggle, because you need to be the economist of choice. Okay, so let's go to my first diagram. And just so you know, I wish I could tell you this was my content. I'm putting my own variation on it, but I want you to understand this is I'm stealing it from people that are smarter than me. But once you internalize it, then it's not like your own. Okay, most people view real estate, think of this of value. They think of real estate and they put it into this box, right? Yet in reality, real estate and cycles flows like this. These are 2 different boxes, right? Is real estate secular? Does it go up and down? Yes. Always will. If there's a seasonal approach to it, it's a time on task. It always goes up and down. But what most buyers think is it goes like this, and/or sellers and/or people in the world. Actually, some of you in this room think that way. Oh, I hope I time it just right, and then I sell it and I get rid of it. This is a stock market too, by the way. If you do it, we're talking about long-term wealth, right? And reality is when you buy your market here, we know that it's going to increase, and any ebb and flow over time will always work itself out. So when we say, Gary says, buy dirt, or we say buy real estate, today's the best day to do it. Now, if you're going to go, yeah, but there's a good chance I could get relocated and have to sell it in 18 months, we go, oh, this is a different conversation. If you're going to stay in any property, buy it. If it's going to be 10 years, 10 years or always do it. Now, you go, well, how do you know which box do you think in? All I got to do is look at your net worth and figure out your net worth when you figure this out as well. And if you have your money in long-term stock, or you have it in long-term real estate, and I go back 10 years, how much did it increase? And real estate will always tell you historically over time is 10%. Stock market actually comes in about 8. These are over 10-year spans. long-term is more like 8 to 9%. I don't play in the stock market. I go to real estate, and I could tell you this is doing, and the ebb and flow, you can survive anything when it comes to owning real estate. You just wait long enough, always. This concept, if you have a buyer presentation coming forward, it better be in your presentation and scribble it out as messy as that and explain. Because if they don't know the difference between the two, right, you're going to struggle moving forward. I'm going to wait till the market gets better. Oh, you overpaid for that piece of property. Anybody overpay for a piece of property? Yeah, you look at it in this window, it looks like you overpaid. You're an idiot. I can't believe you bought that. And then you wait long enough and they say, what? You're a genius. I wish I would have got into that years ago. Okay, we have to be able to communicate and talk to people that way, right? So we have to understand. So these are real things I want you to get up to understand. Now, here's objections that I'm hearing from people with sellers that are on the fence. Number one objection I have is, I could sell, but where would I go? I think that's the easiest objection to overcome, right? And I think we figured that out, because you would say, oh yeah, where do you want to go? And just so you know, just as proactive I am in contacting you, I will go out and knock on doors and I will find the property for you. And that's how hard I work. Just trust the process and know that's how hard I'm going to work for you. That really is. And all the buyers, and confident we'll get you into. We should already be past that objection and overcome it. Okay. Here's the next one is, right? And maybe Dale, I'll even bring you back up again, is, oh my gosh, I just refinanced my house for 2.5 a few years ago. You could refinance your house for 2.5, right? And now I went to go visit with AMCAP again, and they said my rate today is going to be what? 5.25. And they might even be downsizing. I call it, this is me stealing it from another term I heard it years ago. It's from Mike Brody, the guy that said it. He called it interest rate prison, right? Because you're locked in such a low rate, for you to go free up money puts you there. That's going to be a real objection, by the way, with sellers. Now, are we able to buy down points? So what would that look like?
You have to look at a couple of different options. Again, depends on the market.
You got to come grab the microphone and come up again, and I'll probably dismiss you again too. So
there's obviously a couple of options there.
Yeah.
The typical idea would be that if you were to pay 1% of your loan amount in order to buy down the rate 1/4 point, there's something going on in the market right now. The value of loans is not as high as it used to be. So it may cost a little bit more money to buy down that interest rate. But you've got to really go back and look and see where is your break-even point, your return on your investment. If you're spending $5,000 to buy down and save $50 a month, it costs you it'd take 100 months to make up that. So you've got to really look at that, does it make sense? In other markets, there was the ability to get a seller to pay some closing costs. Again, that may be an option coming up if the market cools down and sellers want to sell their house. The seller could cover some closing costs and again, use those costs to buy down the rate potentially for the person. But you've got to look at how long would it take for them to realize the difference in the rate. Secondly, one big conversation is not about what's the price or how much is my monthly mortgage payment. What is the reason that I need to move? And I don't.
Yeah, I'll go into that.
Get onto that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're dismissed again. I'm not even calling them again. All right, you're taking these nuggets. What I'm doing in my mind and my list is I'm creating a menu of what we're seeing as objections, and then you have strategies and tactics that you can go after those in partnership with your buyers and sellers, because it's going to be needed, because not one size is going to fit all. These are going to show up, right? So I have a privilege of owning and operating a market center in San Diego. And so I sat in a room with top people, and they were in there. They had sellers that didn't want to get off the fence. They didn't want to sell their home. What do you think, Jack, was their major objection? No, they got that strategy. Yeah, it's too much money. We're not talking about thousands of dollars. We're actually talking about it increased millions of dollars. It was just fascinating. Hey, they bought the property, they put it into it, they've owned it 10 years, probably bought it for 800,000, put another, couple 100,000 into it, maybe $1 million, and now they can turn around and sell it for over $7 million. We talk about when this book was written in Shift, right? We talked about short sales, foreclosures, and REOs. Now the challenge with some people is they have too much money in there, right? What do they do with it? How do they protect it from taxation? And what kind of strategies they need to do with that extra income? Like, nice problem, nice problem, not then you get into 1031, but you really got to get with a tax person. So I hope in your arsenal, as you come across, especially if you go up in price point, right, that you have a really good tax strategy. And this is where we get into building trust, because there's a way to protect your money to put it in a trust, especially if you're dealing with clients that might be on the tail end of their life, to put it nicely. But right? Yes.
We have a tax professional come in
Sure.
and explain what some of their options may be.
Yep.
So for those of us that deal with out-of-state buyers,
Yep.
we can help them.
Absolutely.
Guide them in that process.
Yep. So that's going to be a challenge that you could face. Remember, not everyone, and you're like, man, that'd be a nice problem to have. My property appraised too much and it's worth millions of dollars, yet we still have to come up with a strategy for them. Okay. So let's take this a little bit farther. Let's go to your investors, right? What's going to happen with your investors? What's the reality of it? What's going to go up in their cost? I'm sorry. I'm an investor. I own a property. What's the one thing I know is going to happen? It's going to go up this year with my property. Taxes, because why? Because it's going to be appraised and this is going to go up. That's going to happen. Who's that cost most likely going to be passed on to? The renter, yeah. So rents are going to go up because of the taxes, and property are going to go up. So having really truthful conversation, it might be a time for the investor to liquidate that property. Let's get it on the market. This is what it could sell for. You're also going to have real conversations on, let's just raise the rent. So here you go. Now we're going back to renters. Oh, your rate's going to increase of what you pay for rent. Have you thought about what? Buying. Well, interest rates are high. Okay, do you want to pay an increase of paying a little bit more for the cost of money? Because remember, this is real. Or are we going to say this and pass it along? Because the owner has no choice but to increase the rent. Those are real conversations. And once again, if an investor is liquidating property, they got to be concerned is, okay, now what do I do with the additional money? And we could come up with strategies. And remember, maybe investing, do you know where the hottest city, it could be outside of Texas, by the way, because where is the hottest city right now for investing? If you read any group, they'll point you in this direction. It's not Arkansas, but it could be still a good market. No, not Florida. It's Huntsville, Alabama. Does that come on anybody's radar? And the reason it's Huntsville, Alabama is because the growth that are coming, i.e. government, are coming in that area, and the formulas there for rent just make really good. I know some people that have been in Oklahoma that's made a lot of sense, because what you can buy there, you might need to take your investors outside of it. Yeah, and the reason Texas is a lot of time doesn't meet great formula for investing. Remember, I own property here. I'll buy in my backyard when it makes sense. But sometimes Texas is not the greatest place to invest for out-of-state investors. Is why? What? Property tax. Because we don't have what? We don't have state income tax. Remember that the government's going to get your money one way or another. Here, they just get into property tax, right? That's where you go, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a rental home and my property tax is 3 1/4. Anybody have one of those right now, by the way? It's just our property taxes are high. So understanding this and walking your sellers to get them off the fence and why the timing is just right. We need to have a menu of those. And so when you're around people, will we bring a tax person in? Happy to do it. Could we learn about how to protect your money through an estate? I think everyone should have your own trust and an estate and learn how to protect your money. I like to use the word, instead of taxes, I use the word taxation. And I look to avoid taxation, not because of me, not because I don't believe I live in an area that we need all be taxed, but that to me is how you build wealth. And wealthy people get that over time. And yet, right here, get the difference. And we, especially if you're first-time home buyers, and they're going to go, I'm just going to wait until interest rates go back down. They're going up. When will they go back down? We don't know. And then put it historically, right? CW, if he was in here, he gets really passionate because he lived in the 80s. And the 80s were something that some of us had never seen, right? And interest rates were, as we mentioned it got as high as 18%. Some people are buying homes at 13%. Now, with all this going on, when we have this show up in the market, our sales could slow down. But really what we'd see as the sales is maybe a 10% drop. 10%. Right? How many, anybody know off the top of their head how many homes in Fort Bend County sold last year? I mean, we're about 4,000, sometimes a month. When we just, it's just a huge number. You know, off the top of your head, dang it. I should have pulled that number so I could put this in perspective. Just it's simple math. If you have 10,000 homes that have sold, right? And you have a 10% decrease, we see it show up, what happens? What's 90% of 10,000? 9,000. Hold on, focus on that number a little bit. Can we all make money with selling 9,000 homes? Yes, yes, yes. There's plenty of opportunity out there, because when people need to buy and sell, what do? They buy and sell, right? It's not like, hey, honey, I want a divorce, but let's wait till the market gets better or readjust, so when we go buy our home, interest rates are better. Anybody heard that before? Maybe, but that's really extreme, right? Or if they need to get relocated, right? Life changes, or if they need to get in an ideal school district because their kid's going to be kindergarten age. All those factors, those buyers are still there. And remember, a seller's market, when we talk about month supply of inventory, is what, Zoe? Seller's market is month supply, what? 3 months, not days, 3 months or lower. And right now, you guys are worried about, oh my gosh, it's 18 days. What's wrong with the home? You're going to see a slight increase, just so you know it's coming. You're going to start to see a little bit of days on market exceed, right? What's the longest you've ever seen a property of yours sit on the market? Over 300 days. It's not even a year. Right now, we think, oh my gosh, right? It's 2 months to us might feel like an eternity, and especially, okay, here's anybody know when the last time we actually had a market correction? Yeah, it's actually been 14 years since we've had a market correction. Typically, market corrections happen every 7 years. So some of you been in this business, haven't been in this longer than 14 years. You haven't experienced any market correction. It's going to feel a little different, but there's always opportunity, always opportunity. Now, if you're barely making enough money in this market, what would we tell you to do? Swim faster in what area? In your lead generating. You need to double down and triple your efforts, and you'll be highly successful, and you'll come out of this and you'll build a business worth owning, a career worth having, right? But you're going to need to double and triple down on your efforts. Here's something that just fathoms me. Let's take an event like Shredding Hunger. I sit back and watch this. This just the news to you. The Office doesn't do Shredding Hunger because it makes us look good. Oh, the office is making us do Shredding Hunger. No, Shredding Hunger is an event where we come together that you can market this yourself. You can lead generate around it, create a conversation, and drive people in. So how many agents do we have in this office? Yeah, 590 as today, 590 agents, okay? So let's use some conservative numbers. How many of that 590 actually you think have a database of 200 or more? 10%. You say 10%? 200 agents. Let's just call it 200 agents. 200 agents out of the 590, because what do we teach in Ignite? Have a database of 200, and some of you sit there and go, no, they don't know what they're talking about, and just don't do it, right? There's a reality and a test for you. But let's say we had 200 agents who have a solid database of 200 who took the Shredding Hunger event and made it top of mind, right? So 200 times 200 is how much? 40,000. 40,000 people. And let's say that for every 100 people in your database, one shows up. That's pretty conservative, right? Okay, so that means that the event in a couple of weeks on a Saturday, we should have at least how many people show up? 400. 400. What's the most we've ever had at Shredding Hunger? Yeah, little under. That just baffles me. Are you all in on this and use it or not? I don't care if you use it or not, but we got 200 people. I'm saying 100 to 1. We should be blocking up 59 on traffic to get there. Yes, ma'am.
So for people that struggle talking to your database or finding an excuse because you're worried you're going to have commission breath, this Shredding Hunger event gives you an excuse to talk to your database. And yes, it's real estate because, hey, I'm your local real estate agent. Remember me? This is the event that we're having. And it's just a way to have the conversation. So utilize it in that way. And then you don't have to have that fear that you're having commission breath when you talk to your friends and family.
That's it. Thank you.
Am I dismissed now?
No, you're good. Yes. Only Dale's dismissed. I appreciate you going on. But you get the idea. All right, here, let's recap this. We are in a recession. And you say, oh, what does he know what I'm talking about? Is because our federal government is going to cause this. They need to slow down inflation, right? Because the gap between the haves and have-nots is getting greater every day. The way you own it is you get this. I could tell by your net worth if you really understand this or not, because you'd buy real estate. You'd figure out any way you could to own real estate as much as you can, or you would invest in a hard asset in some way because this went up in value. So drink the water that we sell, by the way. Because if you can figure this out in your 20s, oh my gosh, what a future that you have for you in wealth, and you get this and you figure out how to do it right away. Now, remember, this is part of your presentation. You have to talk to buyers and sellers this way because they don't understand it as just an education. You can go back and read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and just understand how we educate children today. I'm an educator, by the way. This does not get discussed. We're worried about getting into a good college, going major into debt for a degree that you're not going to use to go get it. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation, right? Okay, and I'm in education. I send 2 kids off to college going, what are we doing here? By the way, I'm in the trap. Yet, have the conversations. With your sellers and buyers, you're going to have objections. You should have a menu of what's going to show up, and you have tactics, you have conversations, you have things around it to work it through. Because remember, at the end of the day, our job is just to provide them with the information to help them make a decision. But when somebody says, would you buy real estate today? You go, yes, because it's always in a 10-year run is going to give us a great return. Fantastic return. And rents are going to go up because they have to. So have those conversations. So here's the reality of it is you need to get to people first. Tell them the truth. By the way, this is where we are in this shift book. And if you haven't read it, this is one unbelievable book, by the way. I don't just do it because of Keller Williams. The way that it makes you think and the way it's articulated is fantastic. It was written in 2009 after, right, a great recession. And that was back in 579, whenever you want to put the date on it. And the first tactic is what? Get real, get right. Tactic number 2 is lower your expenses that we look at, because we're paying for some stuff we really don't need. Could be eating out or something personal too, by the way. Good time to go back and really look at it. But get real, get right. Understand, if you go within a mindset and you think that if you believe that a shift's occurring and you attack, double, triple down on your lead generating, look at anything expenses that you can cut out, and you start following this, and for some reason we're wrong, what will you say? Thank you anyways. That was fantastic advice, right? But the chances are with our government, we just heard it from Dale, the rates are going to go up. It's going to slow down the buying power. Okay, questions or ahas or thoughts? Yes.
The economist that was here a couple of weeks ago, I think that things, not just the scare tactic, but he gave the full story.
Yeah.
From his perspective.
Yeah.
I think if you haven't watched it, you'll really.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you hear, what Chad just said, what Dale said, it's scary.
Yeah.
But if you go back and listen to him.
Yeah.
You get kind of the answers to the questions Chad asked, or the answers to the objections to give to the sellers.
Yeah.
It's well worth it.
And people ask, well, Gary, a family reunion talked one way, and then he kind of changed his tune. Then they go, that one was family reunion 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But he also had the slide that said 2 things on the slide. There's 2 things that could happen that could impact all these. Anybody remember what the first one was? Yeah, Russian invades Ukraine. It's going to impact our world. And the feds decide to increase interest rates. Oh, by the way, those just happened. And all the other stuff is still true, by the way. It's still true. We still live in one of the greatest areas, I just think, for opportunity that you're ever going to find. More people are going to move here. Oh my gosh, gas prices went up. And we go, it's going to cost me a lot of money to drive my truck this summer. And at the same time going, I live in Houston, Texas. Means the industry's gonna be pumping a little bit. I mean, it's like there's 2 tracks running sometimes, right? And they run parallel to each other. There's really a lot of goodness, and then there's a little reality and a little tough things. But in life, you can put this in any areas of life. They just run together. Something is really fantastic happening, and the other is tough. And they just run together, and we just embrace it. That's good. That is a great video. I really liked him, our economist. And that can be found where, Norman, that economist who came in from
It is actually on the closed Facebook group.
Yeah. Okay. Closed Facebook group. You can go back and watch that video. Remember, you are the economist of choice. And it's simple as this. In that simpleness is profound. And I know right away if you get it or not. We just go back and look at your 10. You tell me if I'm wrong, Kimber. You own a lot of properties, right? What age did you figure this out? That it's good to own it and hold on to it. Yep. Yeah. Buy it, and you'll tell them to buy now and hold on to it. Greatest nobody has a book on build wealth short term. Short-term wealth is long-term. In 10 years, right? I drink the water that we sell. I'm up here preaching to myself when I'm talking about this, by the way. I am literally having my own conversation. You guys are just along the ride because I'm on the journey too. Okay. Any other ahas? Yes.
How I have agents come and make offers on properties of mine for their own purchase, and they take their commission. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why?
Tell them more.
I was like, no. You come in with a lower offer that still shows a bigger bottom line for the seller, and you don't pay taxes on that income. What the heck are you thinking? So just already figure that in when you make the offer. You may have to educate the agent on the other side of the deal how your offer stacks up better than somebody else.
Still nets to the seller
But-
the same way.
Yeah.
And you avoid taxation.
Exactly.
Sorry, yes, thank you, good advice. Okay. Any other thoughts? All good stuff. I'm here to dialogue this. I'm not stopping. If I sound passionate about it, I want you guys to really understand the importance of this. What is the greatest time to be in real estate? Right now, you have the opportunity. Gary Keller gets up there and he loves shifts. Why? Because it changed the trajectory of his life, his wealth, and his company, and each one of them. Because everyone doesn't have this. I'm not running from it. Run toward it. Okay, great. Okay, any updates from our business partners?
Yeah, super quick, I'll be quick.
Yeah, I can't get it to click.
App we were
Quick,
talking.
yes.
Hey, yeah. Hi, I'm Melissa. Remember that app that we were talking about that you can do seller net sheets and stuff? If you don't have it, text me and I'll get it to you, because last month I only had 12 users and 32 estimates were computed. This month I have 20 users and 340 estimates were computed. So obviously the app works, right? So text me if you need help with that. It also does monthly affordability. You go in there and you can put how much they want to pay per month, and then you put their interest rate and things like that, and it'll show their buying power, how much they can afford. So it's a really cool, and tax rate and stuff like that you put in there. Real quick on my fun facts, I won't look it up because I have it right here. An average person has 10,000 taste buds and they replenish every 2 weeks. There you go. So text me if you don't have that app, okay? So text me if you don't have that app.
Okay, great.
Yeah, one other thing in regards to what Chad had said about the likelihood of a recession. 83% of financial advisors, stock people, the financial world right now, 83% of the people in that industry think it's definitely going to happen. So a little guidance may be to go into your shift book and maybe, or go back into history and find out what type things happen and what were the results during and after a recession, and see what you can do to maximize your potential to grow in that environment. Secondly, older people looking to sell their houses. They built a lot of equity over the last couple of years. If they're over 65, one potential benefit for them could be that they get a tax break. So you might take that into consideration. They're asking questions like, well, where am I going to go? How can I do this? Well, if they're at that age, they take money off the table, can buy down potentially a home price, but also save some money in taxes that would help offset the interest rate increases.
Yep.
We've got 12:30. Travis is coming in to do videos. It's on how to promote yourself through videos. We're also going to do a sign up for you all to do that video business card that you can put on your websites. You can send the link, people can click on it and get to know something about you prior to maybe meeting you. So thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. All good stuff. We'll commit to getting a tax person at the meeting to come in. All right, whoops. We got to go back. All right, we got our lunch sponsor, Choice Home Warranty. Okay, we'll hand those out. Come on up.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today? That's me, like 3 years ago. I should take a picture of that now. I let my hair grow. Hi, Robin. Robin's my like BFF. Robin gives me a ton of orders here. She's like my #1 favorite right now. But that doesn't mean the rest of y'all can't be. I feel like I'm homeless, not holding a brochure in my hand. So I'm gonna steal someone's. There. All right. How many of you guys know me? A few of y'all, right? I haven't been out in a while. Sorry. You know, the pandemic thing happened. Norman has been a huge supporter of me personally in my business, as well as with Choice. I support you guys with the MS-150. I've ridden 5 rides. 3 of those were with Norman and his team. I am officially retired from the MS-150. But I did do tour to Houston. I missed you. Sunday, did you ride? Yeah. Of course you rode. You probably did like 180 miles in 4 hours. I did not do that many miles. Anyways, everybody should have a brochure. Let's flip to the back of the brochure real quick. Kimberly with Choice Home Warranty. You guys do not have a relationship with a home warranty rep, I would love to be that person. Been in the home warranty business for about 6 years now, real estate for a long time. So I don't mind reading your inspection reports, going over things. You can call me on the weekend, text me, Facebook message me, whatever. I don't do Snapchat, so don't do that. Don't FaceTime me because I won't answer. That's happened a few times. No, agents like to FaceTime. We offer 3 different plans. Our very basic plan is $420. Our middle plan is $500. Robin, can you take photos for me? Thank you. She's my paparazzi too. She just has an unpaid job for me. Yeah. So anyways, our very basic plan is $420. Our middle plan is $500 and our ultimate plan is $580. I love working with our title reps. However, I prefer to do all of your home warranty orders. And the reason why is because title can't give discounts and I can. So if you're writing $550 in your contract, what's title gonna do? They're gonna order the $500 plan, or if they have time, they're gonna call your buyer, say, hey, you have $550, do you want the $580? Someone's gotta pay the $30 difference. However, you send me the order, the information, I will take the order, do it, order the $580 plan for your buyer so they have the best plan with us, give them a discount, so we're right at $550. So your buyer doesn't have to worry about coming. I know it's only $30, but it gets lost in the shuffle somehow. So I'll do those discounts for them. Title doesn't have to worry about it. I'll send the invoice to title, send a copy to you as the agent, and I will send an introductory email to the buyer, letting them know. Robin can vouch for me. We were emailing each other at 7:30 this morning. So you can also add an existing home warranty to any of your existing properties. If you guys have neighbors or friends that are interested and they are already existing homeowners, we will give you a $75 rebate. That's called our Pronto plan. They cannot be going through a real estate transaction, okay? What does home warranty cover? Are y'all ever confused on what we cover versus what homeowners insurance covers? No? Seasoned agents, y'all know plumbing, electrical, appliance, AC, and heat. All that good stuff. Any questions? Still have sellers coverage? Any of my big listing teams, we can put those listings on auto sellers coverage, where as soon as you get the listing, we have sellers coverage on it, and it protects the home during the listing time. Yes, y'all just ready to eat, huh? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Cost for selling.
Oh, so it's free if you don't want HVAC covered. I'm always going to put HVAC coverage on there because it's Houston, and it's $60 to add that. And that's just not, that's payable at closing. Sometimes the agents, sorry, the pollen has really gotten to me these last 2 days. Sometimes the agents want to pay the $60 as far as like a gift for getting the listing. Like, hey, Kim, I'll just go and pay that $60 for the sellers. That way we have the coverage for them. Well, yeah, no worries. You don't have to pay it at closing, whatever. Pretty easy. I can set up now. Home warranties have been written out of contracts for the last few years because, you know, the market has been very competitive. With that being said, I've had the best couple years ever in home warranty. So keep in mind, my agents are gifting home warranties to their buyer as a gift. I give you $50 off. It's the gift that keeps on giving for the whole year. Sometimes it's better than a wine basket. And you can also connect me with your buyer at closing and say, hey, Kim, we didn't have the sellers pay for a home warranty, but they are interested in buying a home warranty themselves. I'll still give them a discount. I can put them on monthly payment plans. Okay, you kicking me out?
I am.
Yeah, okay, bye.
You're still here. You can hang around as much as you want. If you have some more questions, feel free to do it. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget at 12:30, we got what's it called? The video, market yourself. But thank you guys so much. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Have a great day. Thank you.